Okay, let's start our class today. Here you can see the first slide of the presentation. I suggest you to use the following prefixes and suffixes to form words used in psychology. So that would be a task you will do on your own. You will open your copybook, take a pen, and you will start writing like neuro, and you will continue that. For example, neuro psychology. Then you may continue psycho, and you will continue. Yeah, here you have got 9 words. Try to make words associated with the psychology. So, psychology English, not general English, but psychology English. That would be the first task. That is actually the revision from the previous classes. Then the next one. This is the topic from today's class. We have got this one. How can you organize information in a lecture? So we will speak about the ways of organization of information. Yeah. How can you organize information? Here you have got suggested 9 ways of organization of information on the example of a lecture. Uh, they um they answered question 7. Sequence of what? Sequence of events, for example. We have got that events, sequence of events. It is written here. If we take a look at the first one, question and what? And what would you choose here? Contrast, definition, disadvantage, effect, events, supporting information, process, solution, answer. Well, I would choose answer. Question and answer. Problem, very similar. Unfortunately, I cannot hear you right at the moment when you watch this video, but I hope you have chosen problem and solution. Then here are some other words. For example, classification and what could be suggested? Classification, and you have got some sort of classification and probably definition. Then number 4, advantages. That's easy. We may speak about some method in psychology, yeah, about application of Gestalt psychology, or I don't know, like transactional analysis, yeah. And there are always some advantages and disadvantages. Comparison. We can compare something, yeah. Uh, Comparison, it's like what? Like we compare that, look for something similar, yeah? Features, some similar features, some different features, that would be comparison. If we not compare, but we just oppose them, that would be contrast. Comparison and contrast, very similar, but though they are different. Okay, the next one, cause. As for me, it's very easy. Cause and effect. And you have got the cause of something and you have got the result, the effect. Number 8, stages. Stages of what? Uh, stages of experiment, stages of process, and at last we have got theories or opinions, and supporting information. Not supporting information, but then support information. Yeah, well, so different lectures are organized in one of these ways. Like not only lectures, different sorts of information, if they are not chaotic, but they have got some sort of logics, they are organized in one of these ways. Which one is the most preferable for you? That would be interesting for me to know that. Like that would be nice if you also put the most preferable, like most favorite way of your organization. Like probably you also deal with information, and let me know which one is the favorite for you. Then the next one, if we continue to speak about information, like in this context, we speak about information you get from a lecture, from a lecturer, yeah, like university professor delivers a lecture. They organize the information in one of these ways, yeah, like this. Uh, and the student, you, listens to this information, perceives that information, and well, probably you are supposed to make some notes. That would be great because you need that information to refer again. So there are possible ways how to record information during a lecture. They suggest you different pictures, to look at the different pictures, read the names of these pictures. Like that would be good if you take some time, put this video on pause and think about it. So matching the illustration with the words and phrases from the box. The possible answers would be like the following. Here we have got in the box the first phrase, tree diagram. Tree diagram. I would use this tree diagram for some family tree. Like I have recently watched the royal family tree, and that would be number 2. Flow chart. Flow chart. Uh, Usually, I put like cause and reason to the flow chart. That looks like number 1 picture. Headings and notes. When like you have a lecture, it's very often is organized like heading and notes, and I guess that would be very convenient to put down that information like heading and notes. Can you uh, find that here? So that would be number 5. You have got the heading and some notes underneath. Spidergram. Spidergram. Like when you speak about some problem, you put it in the central part of this diagram, and then there are some related issues, problems. Yeah? So that would be number 7. Looks like a spider, probably. Yeah. Table. Table that's easy. That is number 4. How often do you organize your information in table? I guess very often. Timeline. When you have got a lot of dates, a lot of numbers, yeah, you use this way of recording information. The last one, two columns. You can compare information, advantages, disadvantages, like this one. And then the next task, they suggest you to combine the ways of information organization, like the way lecturer organizes that information, delivering that lecture to you, and the ways of information recording, which would be most convenient. For example, if a lecturer gives you a lecture and they organize their information like question and answer. Like what is the possible way to put down, to record that information in your copybook? Or problem and solution. How would you record that? Think about it. You also may pause this class, you may pause this lecture and just check your intuition or check your knowledge and try to do this exercise on your own. That would be good practice. Like some of them, they're quite easy to match. And we continue. Here are some possible answers. So question and answer, that would be convenient to put down like heading and notes. Yeah, like you have got the heading, the question, and answer, that would be possible like notes. Problem and solution, again, heading and notes, or two-column table. It depends. Yeah. If you got some classification and definitions, probably students use a tree diagram or spidergram. It depends. Yeah. Advantages and disadvantages. That's easy. They use two-column table, comparison and contrast. Also two-column table or just a table. Cause and effect, they suggest you to use spidergram, sequence of events, timeline, flowchart, stages of a process. Probably again flowchart. Theories and opinions and supporting information, like they suggest headings and notes or two-column table. So you may check your answers if you had any. And we are going to listen. While listening, think about the best ways of recording these lectures. So you're going to listen to 5 introductions to different lectures. Yeah. And think about the possible ways, like not just possible, but the best ways of recording that lectures. You may choose from these. Yeah, we have discussed before. So let's listen, and you put it down like lecture 1 and the best way to record this lecture.
Unit 1, Lesson 1.3, Exercise E, Introduction 1. Good morning. In this lecture, I'm going to talk about some of the different branches of psychology. Broadly speaking, there are 5 main branches: social psychology, neuropsychology, developmental psychology, personality psychology, and clinical psychology. Within these branches, there are other more specialized fields. I'm going to describe each of these branches and some of their subfields. Introduction 2.
If everybody's ready, I'll start. Right. In today's lecture, we'll be looking at the problem of drug dependency amongst teenagers and young people. There are many causes of drug dependency, and the effects are multiple. Today, I'm going to limit myself to tracing a chain of cause and effect that starts with teenage experimentation with drugs and ends with crime.
Introduction 3. Good morning to you all. In the first part of today's lecture, I'm going to trace language acquisition from infancy, 0 to 2 years, through to 5 years. In the second part, I'll be relating language acquisition to Piaget's 3 stages of cognitive development, ending with pre-adolescence, 11 to 12 years. Introduction 4.
Good morning. Everybody ready? Good. Now, today I'll be looking at the historical origins of psychology and some of the key developments that have led to its current scientific status. The scientific approach to the study of the mind is based on empiricism, the theory that we can only know things through physical and observable evidence. And you will see that a number of early theories have been validated by modern experimental research.
Introduction 5.
In this morning's lecture, I'm going to compare 2 types of conditioning, also known as behavior modification. One was developed by Pavlov, and the other by Skinner. I've chosen Pavlov and Skinner because their research had an enormous influence on 20th century learning theories and affected generations of teachers and students.
Yeah, that's it. Again, I remind you that you can play back, listening activity, listen once again, and just try to use your skills, your cognitive skills, your previous knowledge, and try to do this task. Make a pause, do this task, and continue watching this lecture. So I guess you have your opportunity to do it, to develop. Now take a look at the possible answers. Like the first lecture, they were speaking about different types of psychology, different branches, of psychology. They have used at the first, like, it's not vivid, but they have used the tree diagram. Then they suggested to use for the second lecture describing drug dependencies flow chart. Here we have got this language acquisition in children with different dates, times, ages. So timeline, it's a very good option. History of psychology, again, timeline, and Pavlov and Skinner comparison. We may compare them in 2 columns table with 2 columns with them like similarities and differences. I hope your answers are very similar to this one. And the last task, it's related again to the pictures. So there are different pictures. They are related to psychology. Here I suggested possible answers. Your task is to choose answers, match with the pictures, and give me the argument. Why do you think so? For example, if I take a look at the first picture, number 1 picture, it's a kind of a questionnaire or test. It's associated, if I think about its application in psychology, I will think about personality psychology. In personality psychology, they apply a lot of tests to define different personal features like character, temperament, openness, closeness, extraversion, introversion. So I would correlate number one picture, like a test, with the personality psychology questionnaire. Like I gave you like a suggestion, then I explained my choice, and I can go on to the picture number two. Well, this is the demonstration of this task. You will record your voice for me. You will record your voice for me. I would like to hear to your speaking. Uh, like I guess voice that would be enough. And send them to uh, Viber probably. I don't know. Like, is it possible to send that via email? Or like, okay, let it be Viber. Use Viber. Send me your explanation, not in the group chat, but like personal message. So once again, you are to record your voice, choose the title and the picture, and explain. And explain. Ось тут постав. And explain your choice. Like 2 sentences. That would be enough. So that is the task. That would be lesson 3 task. Just like this.